Hi, welcome to another version of our live series. Today we've got Muhammad Hamza Islam from Asia Pacific University of Malaysia, known as APU. He's joined us to share some information about the university, any admission requirements, scholarship opportunities, and all of that with us today. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Hamza, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Maisha. Thank you for inviting us. And this is Hamza here. How are you
Yep,
doing,
I
Maisha?
I think we lost you there for a few seconds, but that's back on. Yes, you were
Okay,
introducing yourself.
perfect. How are you? How are you doing?
We were just introducing. So
Oh.
thank you so much for joining in. So tell us any updates on how are things in Malaysia at the moment?
Malaysia has always been one of the pioneers when it comes for Bangladeshi students because there's roughly about 20 to 30,000 students per year. That's the highest from Bangladesh eventually. As a university, APU has been a very premium institution in Malaysia, and eventually there's about 150 students per year going to APU alone. And currently we have a population of about 450 students, Bangladeshi specifically, and out of that we have about 14,000 international students as a one whole huge community at APU.
All right, that's great. So are we doing a presentation today?
Yes, we have a small little presentation. I have tons of slides. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of them, but just a little bit about the university, just a little bit about how the courses are, and eventually a little bit about what the students have as facilities, such as scholarships or student transfer facilities.
All right. So, before we get on to the presentation part, I do want to ask you, so how's it looking for Bangladeshi students going to Malaysia at the moment? What's the news on that?
All right. The borders are open, so students can definitely travel to Malaysia. But however, the requirement of 7 days quarantine is in place. Currently, there's another thing that is the home quarantine can be opted for if the students have an accommodation already. So home quarantine is mostly for the students who are traveling back again. But for the new students, it's mostly the institutional quarantine. But again, it was 14 days up until maybe 1 month back. So it was a lot more expensive, and our university is providing a university quarantine, so that's a lot more cheaper than compared to any in other institutions.
Fantastic, which means that you're inviting students in already to Malaysia. So let's have a look at the presentation. You can take over.
Thank you, Maisha. All right. Basically, a little bit about the university. We started back at 1993 as a public institute, so we were not really a private university. And over the period of time, we became a university college and a private university fully around 2010. And then, just to let you know, APU has been one of the most reputable university in Malaysia. And as I've advised you, we have about 14,000 students from over 135 countries. That makes us very multicultural, very diversified, and very international for students. Why internationalization is important, I will definitely advise you in the future slides. And however, we have campuses in Sri Lanka and India, but those are usually pathway campuses. Moving on. We are basically an education group, so we do have the university as the primary institution, and then we do have institute as well, and the language center and overseas campuses as well. Just to let you know, we are rated 5 stars in Malaysia. So world rankings are there, so Asian rankings are there. Besides that, you also need to know that Malaysian universities are locally rated. That means no matter what you choose, you'll have to ensure that you belong to the most prestigious university. Now, under the SETA rating system, there are 5 stars, and APU is amongst the 5 stars universities in Malaysia. Not only that, we are also one of the premier digital tech status university. That means we are a top-notch institute, which means we have the highest amount of technology used in our university. And as per the graduate tracer study done by the Ministry of Education Malaysia, we are rated 100% employable. So that's a great opportunity for students again. Not only that, as I've told you, we are very international and we have students from a lot of other countries. And another thing is under the QS Asian rankings, we are amongst the top 10 in Malaysia. All right, this is the latest development. Uh, under the QS World Ranking. So we're amongst the 18 in the world with QS 5 stars plus. So not only are you prestigious while studying at university, you will be one of the few to be studying at a university under this category. So we're working on it, and definitely our students are happy. They're really happy about it. And the future students, this is the proper place for you to join in. All right, under the QS World Ranking, under the Asian region, we've been ranked number one for international students. And not only that, we've been ranked for inbound exchange as well. So that means we have been having a lot of transfers from other universities as well. And being ranked number one as international students is very important, because as an international student, when you travel over to Malaysia, you have to know one thing, that am I comfortable in this university? Am I really being accepted in this university? So this is a proper showdown of how things are and how you will be comfortable within the university itself. Moving on. As I've advised you, ranked number one for international students under the QS Asian rankings. So you have about 9,000 and plus universities in the entire Asian region. And being ranked number one for under this category and an inbound exchange is a great opportunity as well. All right. Regarding the university, we have two campuses, basically located about 800 to 900 meters apart. The university itself, which is about roughly 18 acres of land, so it's a humongous campus. We're not just a building with the university's name on the top. We are a proper campus with all the facilities such as sports, recreation, proper technological labs, labs for all the programs at the university, postgraduate centers, so on and so forth. And our language center is basically hosts our examinations and Ielts, and is a registered Ielts center as well. So students who do not have Ielts can eventually travel to APU, do their Ielts at our university, or if they're not prepared for Ielts, they can actually have classes in the language center, then opt for Ielts, and eventually enter the university. We are located roughly about 15 minutes from the Twin Towers. That's the best part. So when we think about Malaysia, we often think about the Twin Towers, right? So regarding that, a lot of students will be like, how far are you from the Twin Towers? Just 15 minutes, I would say. This is a drone shot of the campus, the 18 acres of land. So it's a humongous campus, different blocks and all. So all the facilities and recreation stuffs are located on the other side of the campus. I'm going to skip through a few pictures just to let you know. Also, besides that, we have a center point for students. No matter where you are in the university, you'll always come over to mingle down over here. Auditoriums. We do have several auditoriums within the university. We do have postgraduate auditoriums. Cybersecurity Talent Zone, just to let you know, Asia Pacific University is the only university in Malaysia equipped with military-grade infrastructure of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and data analytics in Malaysia. So we have a separate zone for our students. We do have a mixed reality audio studio as well. So mixed reality is basically the combination of augmented reality and virtual reality. So often universities often provide either augmented reality and virtual reality, but at APU you have the facility to learn both of them. And then we do have IT labs. Being a university that focuses on technology, we do have the highest number of computers as well to equip all our students. And this is our library, future centers, future think centers, our classrooms, our postgraduate lounge, our students lounge. Furthermore, we do have our cafeteria as well. Our cafeteria is not a normal cafeteria. It hosts up to different kinds of cuisines, different kinds of food. A thing is, and all the food is halal for Bangladeshi students, just to let you know. We do have engineering labs as well, postgraduate centers. We do have design and drawing studios, green screen studios, editing labs, APLC. So the language classrooms, so students who join the language classes will be doing this. We do have on-campus clinic, on-campus convenience store. We do have gym, basketball ring, and then we do have boxing ring as well. So we do have taekwondo, wushu, kung fu, karate. Eventually, we do have volleyball, badminton, futsal, a swimming pool as well. So students don't really limit themselves in regards to sports. And it is important, a vital part of education, that students are really active and I would say proactive. And our Campus Connect, our on-campus accommodation, this is how a single room looks like. So this is how a shared room looks like. Eventually, I'm going to share the vision mission. The digital learning hub, it's very important for our students to know that what is the next generation going to be studying in. Because every student that joins right now or the year coming forward, they'll be joining jobs that are basically new to the industry, such as people who are not comfortable with working from home, probably have lost their jobs. And a lot more things have digitalized. If we talk about financial services, if we talk about financial technology or fintech, if we talk about data analytics, if we talk about marketing, everything has been revolutionized. If you talk about mechanics, that has eventually changed as well. So moving on, I'll be going over to the programs. So Maisha, we'll be talking about the programs moving on. So before that, if there's any other question regarding the campus or the university.
No, the campus looks really, really nice, and because it's so close to the city of Kuala Lumpur, that just makes it much more an interesting place as well. Because you can't think of such a huge campus being so close to the city. So, thank you so much for that. Let's have a look at the programs.
Definitely, let's go on. All right, I'll be sharing my slides. Just a second. All right. So one of the best parts about studying at APU is you get to have the option of studying a dual degree program. That means if you study at APU, you can opt for basically a dual degree. The other certificate being from the Montfort University, Leicester City. Now, why this is important? A lot of students ask me, sir, could you tell me more about the Montfort University? Now, the Montfort University has been about sustaining about 152 years old. So it's a very old university, very experienced university, and the research output is one of the highest in the world. With this being a part, you have students have two options. That is either study the whole program at APU and basically get the dual degree or dual certificates, or study 1 year or 2 years at APU and then eventually transfer to our partner university. De Montfort is the only university that's the strongest in our partnership. There are other universities as well. However, I'll be enlisting them towards the end of the presentation. Under the Computing Technology and Games Development faculty, so this is the undergraduate faculty, whereby you have all the bachelor's degree programs. And just to let you know, students, this is a 3-year program. Don't be confused. 3 years programs is also accredited by the Malaysian Qualifications Agency and is accredited all over the world. All right. We do have IT. We do have IT with a specialism in cloud computing, network computing, information system, mobile technology, financial technology, Internet of Things, digital transformation. So a lot of students will be like, sir, when I type IT Malaysia, it's always APU. Why, sir? Uh, the reason being that we have the highest amount of IT programs, and eventually you'll be directed to a university that is eventually matching your requirements. We do have software engineering as well. We do have computer science. We do have computer science with a specialism in data analytics, digital forensics, and then we have computer science with cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, computer games development. For our students to know that whoever is joining computer games development, you will be a part of the only university that has an esports academy. So not only we teach how to develop games, we also teach our students how to play games. Our students participate in international tournaments such as Dota or League of Legends or FIFA or Counter Strike as well. Uh, that's a great opportunity as well. The reason industrial partners play a great role is because they not only mentor our programs, they also basically change the curriculum and hire our students for internship and also provide job opportunities. So let's say you talk about the major companies, which is stated over here. Microsoft is our partner, IBM is our partner, Hilt is our partner, there's Google, SAP, Salesforce, so much more, even Oracle, the mother of Java. So what happens is students often ask me, sir, I mean, what's the benefit? The benefit is if you score good, if you really perform well in internship, you actually have an opportunity to work with them. I mean, imagine working for Microsoft, imagine working for IBM. All right. We are also, according to QS, we're also one of the best cybersecurity education provider in the entire Asian region. We've been winning this award since 2018, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. So the best education provider means that you are at the best place. The reason I'm showing this is for you to know that our programs not only are good in terms of academic qualifications, they're also good in terms of accreditations as well. These are some of the awards our students have won. In terms, all of them are gold awards, whether it be a specialism in data analytics, whether it be an award in cybersecurity, whether it be ethical hacking, whether it be Cisco networking competition, whether it be Hilti IT competition. Uh, Moving on. All right, these are our business programs. So all our business programs are accredited by CMI, which is Chartered Management Institute, and all, as well as SAP, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning Software. So you're not up studying a basic business program. You're studying a business program that is advanced academically and at the same time professionally. So you have business management with a specialism in e-business, digital leadership, international business management, marketing, digital marketing, human resource management, tourism management. Now we have a huge flow of Bangladeshi students opting for basic programs such as business management or marketing. I would rather advise you students to rather opt for something that is advanced. Let's say you opt for business management with a specialism in e-business, because all the businesses are moving into a digital model. Now, if you study this, you'll obviously have more demands to compare to someone who's just studying basic business management. We do have under marketing management. You can opt for digital marketing. Basic, just go through Facebook. You know how much digital marketing is valued all over the world. Um, Upon completion, students have two professional certificates. One is SAP, which is free eventually, but however, CMI is very slightly charged, but at the same time, you have a professional accreditation as well. So it's not just a business degree, it's more than a business degree. We are also a member of AACSB, so very soon we're going to have full accreditation. So, and that eventually shows that how strong our programs are. We do have something called enterprise at APU. So students who are studying business programs or students who are studying marketing programs, they can offer these enterprise shows where we bring in the best entrepreneurs from all over the world and eventually connect them with our students. This is not just a connection platform. This is a platform on how they've been successful. Through this, you can learn more. All right. Under the Faculty of Psychology, Media, and International Relations, we do have Media and Communication Studies for students who are interested in mass comm. We do have International Relations and as well as Psychology. We do have accounting and finance with various specialisms such as forensic accounting, taxation, internal audit, forex and investments. We do have banking and finance as well. We do have specialism under them, investment risk management, financial technology, or something known as fintech. Now, if you see, fintech is applicable in banking and finance as well. At the same time, it's applicable even in IT as well. So it depends how the student is growing in their interest in, whether they want to work in the IT field or whether they want to work in banking or whether they want to work in banking and eventually grow the product of fintech. All right, professional recognition. All our accounting and finance programs are fully accredited, or somewhat accredited. So by ACCA, then CPA, then ICAW, CTIM, MACISA, also CIMA. So students who are studying at APU, you have a great advantage. Now, how this accreditation works is, let's say you study accounting and finance with us, the bachelor's degree, and then go for your ACCA. So bachelor's degree of 3 years, and then eventually when you go for ACCA, it has a total of 13 papers. So because you studied accounting and finance with us, you have 9 papers exempted out of the 13 papers. So all you're remaining is with just 4 papers, and eventually you can complete them upon completion. All right. Even also, actual studies is fully accredited by IFOA and Society of Actuaries. So again, worldwide recognition all over the world. Just to let you know, we're amongst the top 4 in the entire Asia to have full accreditation by IFOA. Top 4, imagine top 4 amongst the 9,000 universities. Right. I'm going to move forward with the engineering faculty. All our engineering faculties are accredited by Washington Accord. Surely it is accredited by the local board as well, which is Board of Engineers Malaysia. We do have these programs such as EEE or Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Telecommunication, Mechatronics, Computer Engineering, so on and so forth. So if a student completes engineering, we should bear in mind that you cannot be a certified engineer. To become a certified engineer, your institution or the body that you've studied in was accredited. So nothing to worry about that. We do have design, advertising, and animation. We do have industrial design, visual effects, animation, digital advertising. We do have industrial partners for our students to be supported, because we understand that these are some of the faculties where students are left out, and if they have these collaborative industrial partners, they are easily employed by them, because just the way the graduate number of graduates for these faculties are less, is the same way the number of companies are less. So everyone's a bit disconnected. But when we connect them together, that's how we make employability much more easier. We make everything much more connected. Just to let you know, we have won the national award for James Dyson in 2021. I mean, that's the best award anyone can get when it comes to design. It's known as Team Water Pod, where they have built a sustainable design where there's a sustainable water drinking system for people who stay in the sea. So they have issues with water, drinking water, and all that, but they can even stay here and eventually have free drinking water all over the world. So this was designed by the university. So if you're looking for more information about WaterPod, just type in Google WaterPod, Team WaterPod APU, and you'll know it. The James Dyson Award, we've won another one as well for having a sustainable design for a fridge. So this is another thing. There's many other design awards which we have won. I'll be only sharing few of them. As our car, designed by APU, engineered by APU, and sparked right at APU. So I've won the national award for this as well. All right. So there's so much more that I have to show, but I will leave the rest for a one-to-one session for our students to actually come forward and ask us.
Wow, so many recognitions and accreditations. I'm just seems like there's a lot more that you had to show for us. But yes, I mean it would be so good to know about the master's programs as well.
Yes, thank you, Maisha. Now, the master's programs, these are the master's programs at APU. We do have Master's of Technology Management, MSc in IT Management, Software Engineering, Artificial Intelligence, Cybersecurity, even Data Science and Business Analytics. Now, the best part about our programs, of that's whichever is related to IT-related masters, is that students who are studying this have the opportunity to join this, even though you come from a different background. Let's say you studied banking and finance in your bachelor's degree, or let's say you studied social sciences, or let's say you study business. You can join these programs, but the requirement would be for you to opt for prerequisite modules. That is 1 month prerequisite module, and eventually you can start the program. We do have MBA, we do have International Business Communications, Global Marketing Management, Accounting, Finance, Project Management. And under Research Masters, we do have MPhil, which is Masters of Philosophy under Management, Engineering, and Computing. And then we do have PhD in Computing, Technology, Engineering, Management, and Finance. We do have open and distance learning as well. So students who are interested to study online, they can opt for these programs. All right. Students who complete O levels or SSC, or what we call a secondary school certificate, they can also opt for our pre-university programs such as foundation or diploma. Foundation is a 1-year program. So let's say you finished O levels, you completed O levels, and then you went for foundation. Once you're done with your foundation, which is 1 year, you enter into the first year of bachelor's degree. And on the other hand, diploma program, which is 2 years. Let's say you finish your O levels, then do 2 years of diploma, and then eventually enter into the second year of bachelor's degree. So you have an advanced entry in terms of your bachelor's degree. All right. So these are the institutional achievements we have been having. AACSB, CFA, the international auditors, and then CMI. Study abroad for students coming from other countries. They can also have a 1-month program coming over to APU, learn something new. All right. Career fairs at APU. This is my second last slide that I'll be going through. So career fairs at APU, as I've been telling you, all the bachelor's degree programs are embedded with internship. So no matter where you are, before you complete your final year, you'll have to do internship of 4 months. And that 4 months, just to let you know, we do have career fairs every year three times a year, which are mega career fairs and mini career fairs throughout the year. So make sure you utilize those options. There are 100 plus companies coming over to APU. The HR managers are there on spot. Get your CV ready, have an on spot interviews, so on and so forth. So some of the companies that have been showing over, and we do have industrial visits as well. We take our students to industries. We do have more than 300 awards at local, regional, and international level. Our welcome team to support you all the way. We do have multicultural nights, all the countries showcasing their culture. All right. Final slide. These are the partner universities. We do have partners in UK, Australia, US, Ireland, France, and even the New Zealand. So students who are interested to transfer, you can always transfer, but the requirement is to at least study 1 year at APU. With this, I'm pretty much done with my presentation, and let's take some questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. I think that was pretty comprehensive. And, whoever's watching today, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And then we will be able to either get in touch with you with the university directly, or we can help you place your application as well. So let's dive into some questions, if that's okay. So the first question, we'll just go one by one. Says, "Hi Hamza, could you tell me if student gets this transcript by December, can he or she catch the Jan intake?" So I guess that would be a question about, the turnaround time as well and the transcripts requirement.
As a requirement, as a university, I mean, definitely your final transcript and the certificate is highly required. But at least the application turnover time should be 1 month. So let's say she gets it by the beginning of December, January intake should be fine. But however, we don't really have a January intake. The next available intake is on the month of March.
Hmm,
And then if it's a master's degree, it will be around April.
okay. So how many intakes a year?
We do have four intakes for undergraduate programs, undergraduate and pre-university. So the intakes are normally February to March or May, June. So and then September and November. And for postgraduate, I mean for masters specifically, we do have April, August, and November.
That's great. So, if you are going to get your transcript by December and you want to catch the Jan intake, I guess, as we understand, is apply. If you do get your transcript and you can send that through early December, you will still be able to catch the Jan intake. So let us know. Um, the next question we're going to move to is, so, good afternoon. What are the SSC, HSC, or O-level, A-level requirements for, say, both undergrad or postgrad programs? And talk about the scholarship opportunities at APU.
All right. Now the requirements, I mean, for bachelor's degree, specifically coming over from SSC, HSC background, would be at least having a 3.5 and above. Definitely to have relevant grades such as at least B or above in science background, right?
Mhm.
And on the other hand, let's say students who complete A levels, you need to have at least two passes, that is at least two Ds in your A levels minimum.
Is that
However,
for all programs, or different program would have a bit different requirements as well?
every program has its own requirements, such as let's say when it comes over to business programs, it can have you can just have two passes in any other subject. But when you go over to engineering, your D's have to be in physics or chemistry or higher mathematics or additional mathematics. Or whenever we talk about computing and technology, you need to have at least one science subject in two of the passes. So that's how it goes. However, the requirements keep changing. The best advice is for the students to submit your results to MACES, and then they'll be submitting the documents over to us. We'll do the final assessments and eventually get back to you. The turnaround time for APU's assessment is about maximum 24 to 48 hours. So it's the quickest, one of the quickest you'll find in Malaysia. And in
Perfect.
regards to Yes, in regards to scholarship, we have up to 30% scholarship for all the medium backgrounds, whether you come from HSC or whether you come from A levels. So that's a great opportunity for students. And now 30% is not only for the first years, 30% is for the first, second, third, and even if it's engineering, then even 4 years. So all the 4 years.
That's fantastic. So, is there a particular, GPA that they need to hold on to be able to hold on to that scholarship throughout the years?
Yes, that's a great thing. The requirement is at least to maintain a 3.0 if it's 30% scholarship. But if it's anything lesser, it's 2.8. So it's really easy to maintain the scholarship. You don't have to be like super high educated, in order to maintain the scholarship. So students don't really lose the scholarship. That's what I mean.
Absolutely. All right, let's take the next one. So, does APU have any internal English testing system for students as an alternative to IELTS? I know you spoke about, that students are able to go and then study English, if they're unable to meet the requirement or doesn't have an English requirement. But maybe you can say that better.
All right. Students have few options, such as the first one, whereby a student can apply. I mean, again, IELTS requirement is only in place for Bangla medium students. It's coming from HSC or SSC. Uh, they have one option, that is to opt for IELTS and then apply, or they can apply at APU, apply for visa, and then sit for IELTS before flying to Malaysia. The last option is apply for visa without IELTS and eventually fly into APU, do 2 months of English course classes, and then opt for IELTS, eventually start your main classes. But again, IELTS is a requirement. It's a requirement set by the Malaysian immigration.
So does that mean whoever's applying without an English test, specifically coming from the SSC HSC background, wouldn't that have an issue for them to acquire the visa in the first place if that is a Malaysian government requirement?
Malaysian immigration does have an opening, such as students can either opt for conditional visa or unconditional visa. So when we apply for the visa, we do write conditional over there. So the immigration provides you 1 year to complete your English classes in Malaysia itself.
Right. Okay. Let's move to the next question. So this one is additive to the previous question that we answered is if they do have unofficial results because what happened in the past year is the exams were not being held or they were being pushed or the exam results are coming out and that takes a bit of time as well. So for example, for our SSC HSC students last year, they're sitting for that in December this year, and that might mean that they're gonna get it, say, in February. So if they do have some unofficial results that they can share, um, does that help them get a conditional offer?
Yes, they can get a conditional offer letter even for English medium students, such as around the month of for students opting for May June intake, they'll be having their provisional results around August, right? So they can apply, they can get a conditional offer letter, and then eventually once the results are out, they can get the final unconditional offer letter.
Perfect. Moving to the next one. So, could you please elaborate a bit about APU's collaboration with Google?
All right. Now, what happens with Google is we do have Google Web Academy as our collaborative industrial partners. So students who are studying IT and few specialisms under them, they can always work. So now what happens with collaboration is Google mentors our curriculum. So our curriculum is not only mentored by collaborative industrial partners, it's also mentored by universities, which was our partner. And also besides to that, students get an opportunity for internship. These companies continuously come over for the career fairs at APU and do hire our graduates because they know that what they've learned at APU is what they're looking for in the programs.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next question sort of adds on to that. So, in the UK, we see a lot of courses that comes with the industrial option choices. So if it's a 3-year program, you can add on a year of industrial placement. Is that sort of an option with APU or any industrial placement option at all?
What we have is the internship. Now, the industrial placement, yes, I'm aware. Few universities in other countries do require it or do provide it as an option. But in Malaysia, the immigration only allows up to 4 months of internship, and that's what we embedded in our program. We have basically placed the internship before the completion of the final year, and the reason is because when students do it at the end of second or third year, they look for experience. They're like, I need to get a placement in a good company.
Yeah,
And when they do it towards the end of the final year, they'll be like, I finished my degree, I need a job. I just want to get it done. Or something like
yeah,
that. Doesn't really add value to the course. So, and that's the
correct.
reason we have placed it before the final year. So students get the experience, they love doing what they want, and that really gets them a place in Malaysia.
Yeah, that probably pumps them up to finish the last year and then get into, the jobs as well. So, additive to that question, so are these internships paid or unpaid?
It's paid. It's paid.
Wow. Is there sort of, it differs from, where they're being placed?
Yes, it differs. For example, if a student works at an internship in Microsoft, or if a student does Microsoft in internship in a very large company, they'll probably get about 1,500 to 2,000 ringgit, is about more than 1 month's monthly allowance. Or if they do it in a medium-sized company, it will range from about 1,000 ringgit to 1,500 ringgit.
Great. And I'm guessing that APU definitely helps the students, get these opportunities as well. All right. Let's talk about the transfer process. So, you shared a slide where APU has many universities in the UK, in Australia, and other places where they can transfer their programs. So, what is the process like, or is there a particular requirement for those transfers?
Okay, what happens is the students, if they plan to transfer, they need to make up their mind before they complete their first year. So we have a
Okay.
university placement department, or what we call as UPD. We do have dedicated staff working for them. They can always visit them, ask about what are the universities available, because what I shared was a very compressed list of universities, because the screen can only hold up to that much. We do have other universities or partners, speak to them, but in order for you to transfer, you at least need to ensure that you have completed 1 year at APU, because either of those universities require you to complete 1 year at APU. And in regards to
Right.
immigration assistance, whether it be university placement assistance, APU itself will be the one doing the process. That's free of
That's
charge.
great. So for that, do they still have to, opt for the dual degree program, or, just the Malaysian one, they are able to transfer as well?
Students who are planning to transfer and don't need to really opt for the dual degree program. Dual degree is mostly for students who are like, all right, I don't want to go to UK, but I want the British degree. So that's the way to go.
Right. And, what sort of tuition fee are they paying when they're transferring? Is it
One,
the local one or the university that they're going to?
uh, Once they transfer, they follow the particular university's tuition fee. It won't be our tuition fee anymore, because you understand that Malaysia is rather more affordable compared to any of the partner universities that have been stated in our list.
Absolutely, and that also makes me curious because, say in UK or Australia, if I'm talking about them, they do have a post-study work, visa after the student finishes their degree. So, if I'm guessing correctly, they do get that even if it's a transfer, and then they do maybe 2 years or 1 year of the program, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, in order to get the PGWP, they need to ensure that they are in the other country for at least 2 years. So they might have to transfer right away from the first year. So once they're done with first year, transfer.
Right. Okay. That's great. Thank you so much for that. So I think we'll sort of take our last question. Good afternoon. May I know the English requirements for APU for the Bangla medium students, and what are the expected results?
All right. The requirement for IELTS basically, she states, it would range from 5.0 to 5.5 if it's undergraduate program, which is really easy. Let me tell you. If you probably study hard for a month or two, one great thing about Bangla medium students is that the grammar is really good. So if they really put everything in place, they can score easily a 5.5 to 6 if they really work hard. And moving on for postgraduate, master's or PhD programs, it'll be ranging from 6 to 7, 6.0 to 7.0, depending on which
Nice.
program they're joining.
Sure. And is Duolingo accepted at APU as well?
Uh, Duolingo is not accepted by the immigration of Malaysia. The only ones accepted are TOEFL, PTE, IELTS.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for that. I think we've come to the end of all the questions. We did have another comment asking about the scholarships, but you did share about that before in regards to the 30% scholarships being offered. So thank you so much again for joining us today. And anybody who's watching, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Go to our website, macesbd.com, or email us at mail@macesbd.com, or call us on 017 556 and we'll be able to help you make that application. Any last words before we go?
Thank you, Masha. You've been a wonderful host today, and thank you, Maces and Masha itself, for hosting APU at this session. I mean, students can always come over to Maces if they have any questions regarding APU, and please feel free to let us know. Until then, take care, and Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.